Welcome to the Global Impact Charity Voices series, a way for you to connect with the charities and causes you care about most. Today, we are speaking with Islamic Relief USA to learn more about their response after the explosion in Beirut and look more broadly at their critical humanitarian work during COVID-19. This is going to be a really interesting discussion, and we're excited to share this with you all. Okay, so welcome to our Charity Voices series. Today I have Anwar Khan, Islamic Relief USA's president, and Sanat Karkat, the Northeast Regional Manager of Islamic Relief USA, and I'm Brittany Craig from Global Impact. So Anwar, when we first met, I left feeling so in awe and inspired of your work with Islamic Relief and your passion for the organization. So I'm very excited to bring that to others here today. So what is one thing that people don't know about your organization, and what really drew you to the mission?
A lot of our work is done with our interfaith partners. It's not just about feeding people and helping people in need. It's about doing it together. So we make the whole area, uplift the whole area, and we come together. So you can help a hungry child, or you can help the hungry child to have a hug from their friends and their neighbors, and they lift them up. That's what we're really about. Now, why did I join? You can tell by the name, Islamic, because this was a way for me to practice my faith in a way that I can help others, which to me is what my faith is about. It's about myself, spirituality, and uplifting others. Relief. This is how we started as an organization. It's very easy to help someone in need and from a humanitarian point of view, but we also do development work. USA is very important for me that we represent here in America as Muslims and people from other minority groups and around the world by showing the beautiful values that American society has. So with the name, that really got me involved, and that kind of summarizes why I was inspired to join the work.
I love that, and we're so appreciative of you bringing that here. And so it's hard to not acknowledge that COVID-19 has changed so much for all of us in our daily lives. Can you share with us how this has changed the work of Islamic Relief and an example of maybe how you're responding or how you've had to adjust during this time period?
We already, before this year, were trying to do more and more work in America. So initially, we started from overseas, but then we started doing more and more work here. And then we started a network model here in America. And this network model had maybe 80, 90 partners last year. We're now at over 140 partners here in America, and we're using our network as a delivery system to get COVID-19 related aid all across the country, whether that be food, whether that be hygiene kits, whether that be masks, whether that be cash cards. Sometimes people need cash cards. So the local community knows better than us. It's a rights-based approach. Delivering the aid in a dignified manner through our local contacts. And we help not just by providing money, but we also help by providing capacity. We can get lower prices because we buy in bulk. We can also give them advice and technical help how to raise money. And what they really appreciate is the peer-to-peer learning that we help to facilitate. So we've got these partners from across the country working together through a network that we've helped to develop beforehand, and that network grew. Now we have Christians, we have people, Jewish organizations, Christian organizations, and others that we support. But what we also did during COVID-19 is we increased our support for social programs run by the local mosques. Because many houses of worship were closed, they had a problem with financing. We were worried they may stop the social work that they were doing. So we increased the work through the mosques. We increased our work, by the way, through our Christian, Jewish, and other partners as well, and with our secular partners. 35% of our partners are led by African American leadership, and a similar number are led by female leadership. So diversity isn't a box that we tick. it is an integral part of our work.
That's incredible. And again, just so great to be able to see you be able to pivot and to keep all of that as core to your mission. So on top of COVID-19, there was a devastating explosion in Beirut on August 4th that killed nearly 100 people and injured thousands. And I know that that affected your work as well. Can you give us an update on your Beirut response and what challenges folks are facing right now on the ground?
Yeah, so just like you mentioned, Brittany, I mean, this explosion happened August 4th. And the scariest part was that Lebanon was already facing an economic crisis. They're already facing a pandemic. And so with this explosion, it brought about so many more problems that the Lebanese people were not prepared for. So we're talking about the Lebanese currency going down by 80%. We're talking about 1 in 3 people being unemployed. We're talking about almost 300,000 people being homeless. And so for the IR family, we're very fortunate with the fact that we have a team in Lebanon that was ready to go on the ground as soon as everything went down. And so our team began quickly to disperse ready-to-eat meals to those that were affected. They went into hospitals. They gave the food to patients as well as the staff and their families. They've been able to clear out the rubble. They've been able to give out food parcels. They've also been able to give out hygiene kits. And so that was part of our phase 1 response. And then now we're looking into how are we going to be able to assist these people in the long term? Because with Islamic Relief, we're not just about that emergency approach. We care about really developing a community. We care about staying there when all the cameras are gone and when it's not in the news anymore. And that's why we're continuing to work with our team on the ground to ensure that we're able to assist with livelihood projects later on, to assist with rebuilding and repairing homes. Our country director in Lebanon, Dr. Nabil Ali, he mentioned that when the seaport was hit in Lebanon, in Beirut, that they would be able to accommodate 10 ships at a time with supplies. But now they have to use the other seaport, which is in Tripoli, that is only able to accommodate 1 to 1.5 ships maximum. And so that is such a devastating loss to the food that they could bring into the country, to the medical aid that they could bring in. And so Islamic Relief is really trying to step it up and work together with the local community to assist as best as possible.
Great. And I imagine a lot of the travel bans and just the different ways that you can do work during this time also impacts your ability to deliver that aid. But it sounds like you have people on the ground and expertise really right there, able to respond immediately in the community. So it's great. So to close us out, I'd love to talk a little bit about resilience and what you've learned personally over these last few months in your work about resilience.
It has been an amazing experience. I've been on different panels with the State Department and in different think tanks talking about resilience, but until you actually go through it, it's completely different. Look, at the beginning, I was a little bit concerned. I have a pre-existing heart issue, so I'm high risk. So there was that concern. I was concerned about my loved ones. And at the beginning, I thought, this is only be a few weeks and then we'll be back at work. So I went from a little bit of fear, to be honest, to now, hey, this is the new normal. It's all good. To now, hey, let's make the most out of the situation. And then moving on to, how is this going to fit into my 5-year plan? So it was a confidence has been building. And I'm not looking now at the next 1 or 2 years. I just started recently looking at the next 5 years. So it has forced us, I think, to plan more, to become stronger. And it's given us surprises. I was expecting bad stuff to happen. And I feel really blessed and a little bit guilty that bad stuff hasn't happened to me. And God willing, it won't happen. But so far, so good. But amazing stuff has happened. Our donations, Brittany, have actually gone up as an organization during this time when people were telling us, the academics, that it would go down 20%. They've actually gone up 30%. We're helping more people now here in America than we've ever done before. We're helping more people and doing more work around the world now than we've ever done before. And someone asked me, Anwar, a lot of your work is dealing with the government people and shaking hands and meeting people and going for lunches and stuff like that. How are you going to do any work? And I was like, no, I can. And part of me was like, yeah, he's right. What am I going to, how am I going to do this? Our major gifts, donations, and my own experience, it's gone up. Instead of flying from DC to LA, we're now raising more money from those individuals on Zoom calls like this one. So again and again, it's surprising. It's not just money, it's not just helping people, but things that I didn't feel. And one thing I didn't feel as much as I do now, the power of my faith. Because this is really about faith. Faith that things will get better. And this is back to your point about resilience. I believe as a person of faith, whatever faith you are, this is an opportunity for us to dig deep in our faith. And it's an opportunity to spend more time with our kids, with our loved ones. And if you're not able to do that and you can't hug anyone, do virtual hugs, okay? Go talk to people, whatever you can. Some of us can't do it. This is a lonely time. So for people who are lonely, I'm praying for you. But please, through Zoom, through the phone, make the network that you can. I think the best thing is the way Charles Dickens said it, the best of times and the worst of times. So let's make it the best of times.
And yet again, truly inspired, leaving today with your words. And I think, you speak to the resilience of people, you speak to at the core, the good and the love and all of the things that we can share and the compassion we have for others at this time. It's truly inspiring, and we are so grateful for all of your work, and we are excited to bring your words to everyone and to help inspire people to make a difference. So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for all of your continued work here in the US and in Beirut. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all for today's Charity Voices series. Thank you so much for joining. Stay up to date on the work of all of our wonderful charity partners by following Global Impact on Facebook and Twitter and visiting our website, charity.org/give.